Hello collectors, I'm Real Talk Yorkshire. Yesterday I was tagged by Tim's Film Waffle in his video Movies I Found While Exploring the World. And so since I've been tagged, I'm going to try and get my response done today, which is the day after, and I'm going to try and get it uploaded today as well. The idea is that you pick 5 films from 5 different countries and just talk about them for a bit. And you're not allowed to pick America or England, so they have to be foreign language films, which is no problem. I got a nice little stack here of 5. So yeah, I was tagged by Tim's Film Waffle. Thank you very much for tagging me. And this was originally by Hills on the Hunt. Now, I'm not sure as of now who has been tagged and who hasn't been tagged. So basically, if you watch this video and you leave a comment, just consider yourself tagged. So yeah, I'm going to run the intro in a second. We've got 5 films. Just to give you a little bit of a teaser, we got one from Greece, we got one from Belgium, we got one from Germany, we got one from Spring, we got one from Sweden. I sort of spoiled that one, and then we got one from Australia. So let's not spoil them by waving them about. Let's get that intro played, and I'll talk about these for a bit. I'll see you in a minute. Right, so 5 films from 5 different countries. I did want to go with some really obscure stuff. There are some films that I sort of want to save for my top 100 horror film series. Having said that, at least one of these is actually going to be on that series. One of these is one of my top 100 horror films, but I'm not going to spoil it. But yeah, can I just say again, thank you very much to Tim's Film Waffle for tagging me in this. And as usual, I don't want to waffle. I'm just going to try and make this as short as possible. So as I said, we're going to start with a film that is made. It's a Greek production, and this is Island of Death. I'm pretty gutted actually because I know for a fact that I bought this on Blu-ray, and the thing is with me, I only own about 20 Blu-rays, so they're all together on a shelf. It's not there. And I've just been looking for it, and I can't find it anywhere. So for this one, I'm going to go with the DVD. Yeah, this is Island of Death. I'll just get a couple of... I'll just get a bit of information up about it for you. So Island of Death, yeah, this was written and directed by Nico Mastorakis. It did have another title. I believe its original working title was The Devil Goes to Mykonos or something like that. And yeah, so it's about this couple from England who go on a holiday to the Greek island of Mykonos, and you get the impression that they've been in some trouble, they've been in a little bit of bother, and they've gone there to try and sort of like wind down and get away from things. But what happens is they just end up killing anyway, and I believe this was actually one of the video nasties. And yeah, I remember watching an interview with Nico Mastorakis, who wrote and directed it, and basically the idea behind this film was he saw the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and he saw how much money it made on such a shoestring budget, and he thought he could do just the same, if not better. And he went ahead and made this. I don't believe there's many things to his name. I'm not going to have a look now because we'll just be waffling on, but I'm pretty sure the only other things that he ever made was a documentary about Mykonos, the island. But yeah, Island of Death, it's really, really good. I do believe this may be slightly cut, this version, but I know that the Blu-ray that I had, at least, I don't know where it's gone. I know the Blu-ray is, yeah, this the full uncut version. For anyone who you might not be sure whether you've seen this or not, this is the one where the guy fucks a goat towards the end. There's lots of sort of what the fuck things going on in this film. But yeah, I really like this one a lot, and it's Island of Death from 1976, and I'm going to go with that for my first one, and that is from Greece. Second up, we got a film that were made by a bunch of Belgian film school students, and this is from 1992, and it is obviously Man Bites Dog. If you haven't seen this, or if it's on your watch list and you just haven't got round to it, I can't recommend this enough. It is absolutely fantastic, this film. So the idea is that a bunch of... It's supposed to be real, and it's made like a documentary. And the idea is that this film crew follow around a serial killer for a few days just to document his life. But what happens is, as it goes on, in order to get like really good footage and to make the documentary interesting, the filmmakers themselves start to get involved in some of the murders. There is a couple of shocking moments in this, especially one towards the end, But it's a really, really good film. And if it sounds familiar, if any of you used to watch a show on TV called Urban Legend, I don't know how many people watched it. I fucking loved that show. There's an episode of that where it basically rips this off, and instead of following a serial killer around, they follow a vampire around for the night. And the vampire with a Cockney accent, it's one of my favorite episodes of Urban Legend. Just yeah, shout out Urban Legend if anybody remembers it. But yeah, Man Bites Dog, it's basically a film crew following a serial killer around, and they start to get involved in order to get like really good footage. But the guy who plays the serial killer, he must be one of the nicest serial killers in any of the films I've ever seen. And it is a dark comedy film as well, so it is. I'm glad the first time I watched it, I was glad to find out that it was supposed to be funny in a dark sort of way, because I found some of it hilarious. There's a scene where they go around with the guy to an old woman's apartment, and yeah, he checks out her medication and he puts it back down on the table, and then a few minutes later, he just shouts in the old woman's face, and she has a heart attack, and then he just rips her off. I think they go under the mattress, and there's like tons of banknotes there. I think he even goes into an explanation as to why he goes for the elderly. I can't remember why he says that. I think it's just because they've usually got like quite a bit of money around. But yeah, let me know if you've seen this. Man Bites Dog, a really good film from Belgium, and I'm not sure whether the filmmakers actually went on to do anything else. And if they didn't, it's a shame, because Man Bites Dog is just a really, really, really good film. Next up, we got a film from Germany, and this is from 2001. This is very, very depressing. If I ever do a video on the most depressing films I've ever seen, this is definitely going to be on there. This is from 2001, and as I say, it's from Germany. And I got this in Blackpool back in like 2010 or something like that. Some guy in one of those markets was selling like Vipco and stuff like that, and I think he had a deal where you could get like 4 for £10 or something. And I only got this because I needed to make the 4 up, and I'm sort of glad I did. It's, as I say, it's a really disturbing film. It's very, very, very fucking depressing. In fact, I just finished watching it now before I came up to make this video, because I just want to make sure it was exactly as I remember it, basically. But yeah, this is from 2001. It's a film called Suicide. It does have another title. I believe you can get this. It's called finalcut.com. And basically, it's a little bit similar to Man Bites Dog that I've just been talking about. Basically, you've got a couple, I'm guessing they're like a married couple, and they run a website which, going by the alternative title, I imagine the website's supposed to be finalcut.com. And they run a website where you can basically, if you contact them, they'll record your last few moments of life, and they'll record you killing yourself, and they'll sort of host it on the website. But it's a really gritty, a really disturbing, and it's just a fucking depressing film. But I like films that make you feel a certain way, and I don't care if they affect you negatively, positively. I don't care if something makes me laugh or if it makes me cry. If it makes me feel something, then I mean the filmmakers have done what they intended to do. And this is a very powerful, but a very, very low budget film. And so you've got this married couple who host the website, and the film goes a little bit like this. You'll get footage of somebody's last few moments, and they'll be talking about why they're going to kill themselves. And then you'll get the act itself recorded, and then between all the bits of the people committing suicide, you'll have the two filmmakers sat in the car discussing the next place that they're going to go and what they're going to record. And to be honest, there's not really much of a story to it. I feel like the bits in the car are just there to give it some sort of structure. The only real story that is there is that you get the impression that the guy doesn't want to keep doing it, and he's getting a bit sick and tired of it. But the woman keeps pushing him to do it. But there's a few reasons why I think this film stuck with me. First of all, it were extremely, as it says on the front, disturbing and violent. It's very disturbing. It's very depressing. It makes Train Spotting look like Snow White, basically. But one of the other reasons it stuck with me is there's two other deaths in it particular, and I don't want to spoil them, so I'm going to talk about one of them. Now, obviously, I know that when you're making films, especially with violence and gore and things like that, there's ways of filming things to make it look real, and this film does really, really feel real. That's another one of the things that I like about it. It does legitimately feel like this was a real thing. Um, and I know there's ways of faking things, but there's if anybody's seen this as well, let me know what you think to this particular scene. But there's a scene where there's a guy, and you see him they meet him in a house, and he goes out of the house, and you get the idea that it's like a drugs den. Everybody there looks to be like off the tits on class A's. So the guy walks out, the walk into like near this lake, and he sits down. And this bothered me the first time I saw it, and it's bothering me now, and I can't stop thinking about it. But I don't think they're faked. I think the guy dying on this bit was obviously fake. I don't think somebody actually died. But the guy, it's a scene where the guy takes a heroin overdose, but you see him cook the heroin up in the spoon. You see him prepare the needle. You see him pull the heroin up into it, and then he injects himself in his dick. But it's not one of those fake ass looking pretend needles, you know, where the end goes in. It's like I swear it's a real needle, and he actually injects his dick with what I'm guessing is actually heroin, because I don't know if you can inject like just I don't know, but let me know. Like that bit always stuck with me. And I just watched it again, and it reminded me of that bit. I don't know how they could have faked that bit, especially on something with a very very low budget like this. But yeah, that's Suicide from Germany. I don't always do this, but I will say that if you're somebody who's easily disturbed, easily depressed, maybe avoid this one. It's not going to be for you. But if you do like your really edgy, really violent sort of stuff, really depressing especially, then yeah, this is probably for you. This is Suicide. As I said, that's from Germany, and that's from 2001. Next up, the one that I nearly spoiled at the beginning like an idiot. Possibly my favourite Swedish film. Definitely my favourite Swedish filmmaker. Yeah, this is from the Bergman collection, obviously made by Ingmar Bergman, and this is The Virgin Spring. I'll just get a date for that for you. I think it's 1960. So this is 1960, The Virgin Spring by Ingmar Bergman. Set in medieval Sweden. To keep it brief, a young teenage girl is attacked and killed, basically. She's assaulted by these guys. And I think a storm comes or something happens, and the guys who killed the girl need somewhere to stay for the night, and they just end up staying at the parents' house of the girl that they just killed. Now, if that sounds familiar, you're right, it should sound familiar. This is a film that Wes Craven used to heavily influence the original Last House on the Left. So there's not really much I can say about this that I can't also say about Last House on the Left. I love both equally, but if you do like Last House on the Left and you didn't know that it were based on an older film, or maybe this is on your watch list and you just haven't got round to it, it's just an amazing film. I've still only seen this twice. It might be my favourite Bergman. I don't know. It's between this and Persona. But yeah, it's the way this plays out. It's just absolutely fantastic. Really, really good. I don't know where I found out that Last House on the Left were based on this, but I'm so glad that I found out that little bit of information, because it's such a good film, that is. Let me know if you've seen it. That's The Virgin Spring, 1960, from Ingmar Bergman. Next up, so when I got tagged in this, naturally, I just presumed there'd be no like English language films, because obviously, if we're not allowed to go with America, we're not allowed to go with the UK, and they have to be foreign films, then that sort of limits us to non-English films. However, I watched Little Miss Gross's video, and she went with something from Australia, so I think I'm going to do the same. And I'm glad that I watched Miss Gross's video, because it gives me an opportunity to talk about this. Oh, this is a very, very messed up film. Hopefully some of you have seen it. Again, as always, let me know in the comments. This, actually, I streamed it online years and years and years ago, very long time ago now. And I just had to get a copy, and I think I imported it from somewhere. I'm not it might have actually come from Australia. I'm not sure. I seem to remember when I ordered this, I had to wait quite a while for it. But yeah, this is such a messed up film. I'll just get the exact date up for you. So this is written and directed by a dude called Rolf De Heer. It got released in 1993. It is unrated, apparently. And yeah, great Australian film. I say great. It's very, very fucked up. But yeah, I'm going to go with this because I just like it a lot. It's Bad Boy Bubby. Let's try and get it so the light's not actually shining off his face or anything. And yeah, as anyone will know if you've seen this, this is just crazy. I mean, like, Bubby is this. He must be in his late 30s and he lives with his mum, who's like an insane. I think she's like insanely religious. And for all his life, he's been told that he can't leave the house because if you go outside, there's like gas or like toxic fumes. And to sort of keep up the charade that his mum's pulling on him, she actually puts on a gas mask every time she leaves the house and takes it off every time she comes back. Anyway, I'm not going to spoil what happens, but eventually Bubby, and bear in mind, as I said, this guy has never left the house and he's like in his late 30s now, as when the film takes place. And I won't spoil what happens, but he ends up getting out into the world and he realizes that you can actually breathe the air. And yeah, it's just crazy. It's just, yeah, a guy, as I said, he's like, must be in his late 30s and he's got no experience of anything. I remember the scene where he tries pizza for the first time. But yeah, I will say it's a little bit messed up. This, I'm pretty sure within the first 15 to 20 minutes he sleeps with his mum. And I think that's part of the thing in this. The idea is that his mum's been taking care of his needs all of his life. Um, uh, yeah, a really, really messed up film, but it's one I like nonetheless. And it's Bad Boy Bubby. That's from 1993, and I'm sure some of you have seen it. It's a really, really good film. It's just very, very fucking messy. Anyway, that brings us to the end. I've been Real Talk Yorkshire. Thank you very much for tagging me again. That was Tim, was it? Tim's Film Waffle. Thank you very much for tagging me in that. And thanks to Hills on the Hunt for doing the original video. That's all from me. I hope that's not too much waffling. I will see you next time. Take it easy. And until next time, keep calm and keep collecting.